This game was such a landmark for the studio, for like me personally, working on the original.
Don't.
Get the hell out of here.
Get your hands off me.
Hi, I'm Matthew Gallant, and I'm the game director for The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered.
I directed The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered kind of back to back. So I've been really living in this world and getting to really, live in detail, looking at these games again, looking at the through lines between them and the seeing. It's been a very great reminder of just like what I mean. I feel we're tooting our own horn here, but like just like what an achievement The Last of Us Part 2 was. It was a really ambitious game. We really pulled out all the stops to tell this big, controversial, exciting, um, ambitious story, and I'm so glad to hear that it still holds up in 2024. And I think part of the reason we wanted to do this remaster was because we wanted to bring it forward to future audiences on the PS5, on the latest hardware, with all the latest DualSense features and with the fidelity and performance modes and all that. I'm probably rambling at this point, but yeah, it's been a really fun experience to revisit these games, and I'm so glad to hear you had a wonderful time with them.
Come on, baby girl. I got you.
Is that?
What are the main differences people can expect from the remaster? I mean, obviously you've got a new game mode, you've got some lost levels in there, but what else can people experience?
Yeah, I think when I look at the Last of Us Part 2 remastered, it's got a uh, it's a bit of a potpourri. It's got a bunch of little it's got a bunch of different features that I think are going to appeal to people who maybe have different favorite parts of The Last of Us Part 2, or maybe like are looking for something different. For a remaster like this, that means things like pushing out like sun shadow quality, increasing load distances, exporting textures at higher resolution, all that kind of thing. And then on the PlayStation 5, it meant, not only do we get the fast loading hard drive, so you can jump into the game really quickly, but we get the DualSense haptics. And I can nerd out on that if you're interested. But
Oh,
all
please
that to
do.
say, well, I'll take you up on that. But that to say, like, getting to either replay the main story or play the story for the first time with just the best version of it, the most that we can max out on the latest hardware. I think for some people, that's just going to be the draw, and that by itself. And that was always like, the table stakes for making this kind of remaster was that like it's just like it's the main story of the game, this really beloved, incredible story, and told with all the detail and pushing the hardware as best we can to make it the really best experience. I'll sidebar here and real quick say for haptics, um, I feel like haptics might be something that some folks kind of underestimate. Of like, oh yeah, they're better, it's better, but it's Rumble 2.0 or something. I would say from my perspective as a designer, Rumble was something, that we've always taken very seriously because it's part of the immersion that you're feeling in your hands. But it always was something that was very coarse grained. It was like we could use it for explosions or for melee or for gunshots, but it was very strong feedback. And it was also, it had some limitations where like, because it was a motor, it took some time to like rev up and rev down. It wasn't instantaneous, so you couldn't really like time it very well with very precise little actions. So with haptics, haptics are really cool because it's almost like you're holding like a little speaker or something. And so we can play very nuanced little feedback in there, and we can time it very carefully with the actions that are on screen. So for The Last of Us Part 2 has all those big action sequences, gunfire, melee, etc. But it also has like all these nice soft moments, quiet moments, petting a dog, walking in the rain. An example I pull up a lot is the beginning of the game where Joel is like wiping down the frets of the guitar to give to Ellie. Being able to put haptics on that stuff, that's just like a whole other layer of immersion that you can get playing the game. And we really, I feel like we really put a lot of attention and care into trying to get that aspect of it right. So sidebar on haptics complete, but I'll let to put that in the bucket of like that's one of the reasons someone might be interested in The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is just like coming back for the story and getting to experience that as best they can.
For starters, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered includes the lost levels.
Making games at Naughty Dog, the behind the scenes development, really getting a look at like this is what a level looks like when it's in development. And that's something that I think a lot of studios we are it can be very hidden, it can be very mysterious. To get a glimpse of a level while it's in alpha or in beta or some of these early days of development. And not only do we have the levels themselves that you can play and you can see what was cut from the game, but we also have this like really rich commentary from the designers of the levels, from Neil talking about like, here's what the goal was, here's what we were trying to do, here's some of the design methods we did to try to accomplish that, to give you this or that aesthetic experience or to create this or that emotion in the player. And then you also get to close the loop and be like, and this is why the level was cut. And seeing that as part of like a holistic storytelling and game design process. So I think that also is that could be another reason someone would want to come back to The Last of Us is to get to see some of this behind the scenes. We also have the new commentary tracks on the cinematics. So we have Neil and the Hallie and the cast talking about the process of shooting those cinematics and talking about the actors' performances and stuff like that, which is really cool. In addition to that, this one might be more niche, but we have the guitar free play mode. And guitar free play, affectionately, we have a team of, real music nerds who worked on The Last of Us, and they obviously put a lot of work into the guitar minigame, but knowing that like there was so much more we could do with that, and seeing the community players who like recorded all these incredible songs, layering themselves, playing the guitar in the minigame and making all this incredible music. We can't wait to see them go wild with this stuff.
Good job, kiddo.
Holy sh, Joel.
Surprise.
So it's not just the remaster. You do have a whole new game mode, which is No Return. This isn't story driven. This is just some action packed fun, choose your character kind of thing. Can you take me through No Return and how that came about?
Yeah. So for No Return, we were really inspired by, I'd say in the last 5 years or so, roguelikes have really blown up as this exciting new design space. And you see all sorts of different games and designers like taking their own take on a roguelike, there's platformer roguelikes, card game roguelikes. I even played a hockey roguelike at one point that was fun. But it's a very interesting container, and I felt like when I was pitching this mode with the team, it did a couple things that were very resonant with what works well in The Last of Us combat. What I hope players experience is just really a being put into situations where they have to think on their feet and they have to react to something where they weren't expecting um, uh, a certain challenge, and they're getting that fresh feeling of like they're playing a combat encounter for the first time.
Well, it's certainly the case. But what I loved about it is that you weren't just throwing every single game mode, every little thing at you at once. You play through it once, you unlock something else. Play through it again, you unlock, you're unlocking things as you beat
Yeah.
each encounter. You're actually progressing, and one of the game modes which I love, and I test myself on it every time I get it, is where you have to capture the safe,
Hmm.
and I just like my goal is just run in as fast as I can, and I Molotov the whole area, or I'll just like go crazy at it and just and I beat it once in a minute 30, and I was like, oh, that's
Oh
so
my
good.
gosh.
So it's
I'm 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 so excited to see what strategies the community develops in No Return.
Come out and fight!
I mean, thank you so much, Matthew. It's been an absolute pleasure. I could talk to you for hours about this. I've got so many questions, but I'll just keep playing the game, and people will be able to get their hands on it soon. So it's exciting.
Yeah. It's lovely talking to you as well, Julian. Thank you so much.